Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Dear asshole, I've watched some of your videos and thought I could get a helpful advice from a seasoned Gen Xer such as yourself. I'm 20 years old, 5'9", college, undergraduate, senior degree computer science, aiming for at least a 3.0 GPA. I have a little college debt to pay off thanks to my lack of interest in living the ideal college social life while getting monthly stipends due to me being dependent upon my father. I think I already know where I am headed. I will do whatever is necessary to get a full-time job, live a quiet life comfortably as a minimalist loner, and limit my connections with people overall. Not entirely. A recent argument with my Gen X father on the phone, mostly about what I should be doing with my life, was unnecessary in my opinion, yet controversial at the same time. He's the outspoken type, but most of what he has told me wasn't necessarily wrong. He suggests that I should become more outgoing, but take more priority in being this ideal productive man, rather than spending most of my time in the house, which is something I genuinely like doing. Moreover, I talked about things I planned on resolving, such as my recent weight loss from 140 to 125. Okay, he was completely baffled by how skinny I was. I bear the burden of hearing him share his advice while blaming my mom for me and my sister's shortcomings due to his recent financial support, but his contributions towards our development might be an understatement in a negative way. If it wasn't clearly obvious to you by now, my parents have divorced when I was young. Oh yeah, it was pretty clear. I lived with my mother, and they have lived in distant states ever since. When I got older, I found out a few years after the divorce, a court case was settled in favor of my dad having the option not to pay for alimony anymore due to a lack of jurisdiction. Guess he hired a good lawyer. Anyway, even if I would visit my dad over the summer, I doubt me or my sister had received the same discipline and guidance that he could have given us if he raised us or lived nearby. Regardless of his reasons for not keeping in touch, it seems that he is not aware of his own hypocrisy, acting like he is in the right despite being an unsuccessful father. It could be possible I give him way more credit than he deserves. I also notice that society does not blame the individual for being a so-called failure, but rather the mistakes of the parents. It is common. Dude, I can totally tell you were raised by your mom. I could totally tell because you fucking blather and don't get to the point like every goddamn chick. It is commonplace for parents to be given the blame for a child's behavior, called foolish or noble, but personally I do not like to think I myself am not held accountable for actions I choose to make. My dad's factual advice is no longer useful to me despite how right he may sound, but it is not only because his morality is questionable, but also because it is my God-given right to not give a fuck about certain things as long as I have plans for becoming more independent and not hurting anybody. It is inevitable that people like my dad. Dude, just say you hate your dad. Just say you have a bit. Look, summarize all this shit up. I don't like my dad. And he's giving me advice. What should I do? It would have saved you a lot of money. It is inevitable that people like my dad are going to take this the wrong way, but my decision on becoming mostly a shut-in was completely logical. By the experiences I did have with socializing with people, I would find out that they would inevitably bring out the worst of my personality. Aside from having the same weakness from being an introvert, my passive nature makes people think I cannot stand up for myself. But in truth, I'd simply rather not be in a position where I am most susceptible to any toxic behavior, albeit from me or any other person. That is why I seek to limit communication. Dude, you limit communication? You sure? Aside from workplace and family bonding, only when I am by myself do I feel true bliss. All right, well, there's nothing wrong with that then. I value the freedom my mother gives me, and even if it is mostly just fapping and video games that I do in my free time, in my opinion, it is time well spent. My question to you, asshole, is this. How serious should I take my father's advice given my circumstances? Regarding plans to develop myself after graduation, should I stay in this place for... Okay, so this is where I get the battery of questions. How serious should I take my father's advice given my circumstances? I would take his advice about you getting out of the house and doing something else, so got a social life, not rather seriously, but factually. It is true. You probably should get out of the house and experience life and not just be in the basement jerking off to porn all day and playing video games. I'm truly indifferent because you seem to be happy doing that, which is okay. I think you're wasting your life, but I'm a libertarian. I don't make moral judgments. You go do whatever you want. If jerking off the porn and playing video games, if that's where you are truly blissful and you are happy, who's to judge? Right? So your father's advice, though, right in the real world, is not right for you, I guess. It's not going to hurt if you went out and explore the world a little bit, but it's a question of whether you're going to take it. I don't think you're going to take it. I think you might want to explore, entertain the idea a little bit, go out and check and see if there's a world out there you're missing out. You don't know yet, but I'm not going to force you to. Regarding plans to develop myself after graduating, should I stay at his place for a while? I'm sure he would help me with things like weightlifting, talking to girls, etc. But is it worth staying if what I truly value is freedom from living in mostly solitude? No, don't live with your dad. When you graduate, you're going to get a job. You're going to live on your own. Why should you burden your dad after you graduate? Live at your own place. And truthfully, you wouldn't listen to it. You're not going to lift weights. You're not going to talk to girls. You're not going to. And if you're being intellectually honest, if you want just solitude, then why live with anyone at all? You should be able to make some good money with a computer science degree. Wasn't that your degree? Computer science. All right, yeah. So you don't need to live with your dad or your mom or anyone. I am usually no one to pay for therapy, but my mom recommends I see a therapist to talk out this specific problem. And given she is the most important, helpful person in my life right now, I decided maybe I should reconsider just this once. Yeah. I mean, you're young. Might as well experience. You might as well listen to your dad's advice and try it. See what happens. Talk to a therapist. See what happens. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. From Anonymous. P.S. I watched many of your videos that there are maybe some hidden parts of them related to my problem that I have overlooked. If you won't consult the No, dude, I mean, look, does it cost you anything to listen to your dad's advice aside from some time and maybe going out? Does it cost you anything for going for a walk or hitting the gym aside from your time and a little bit of suffering and pain? Does it cost you anything to go talk to a therapist? No. You might as well. I don't see any problem in it, and if you decide you don't want to do it, you can go back to playing video games and jerking off to porn. So there you go. Questions, answers, links down below. See you guys later. Toodles.